to Ashley's altar, and the flower that you have, place it on her altar as an acknowledgement of her life here on earth, as well as her spirit now, and as a way to open up this sacred space as we begin the ceremony. you so much for every single one of you who came here today. And thank you so much for everyone's help and support to make this all possible. There's been so many helping hands, and so thank you. So here we are to celebrate the life of Ashlie J. Sahara. And we're also here on the weekend of the summer solstice, which I feel for her and for her life is so absolutely perfect, because she really was in the fullness of her bright, shining spirit, just shining her light so bright as the sun is at its strongest right now here too. And here we are on June 22nd, and she transitioned when she was 22. So let there be tears, let there be laughter, let this be a place that anything you feel is welcome. And it's in community here that so much healing can happen and so much movement can happen. Oscar Wilde says, "Where there is sorrow, there is holy ground." So with that, we're going to start with the slideshow. It's about 20 minutes, so I invite you all just to relax and enjoy. If you can't see very well, feel free to move around. Even if some people want to come up front and sit down, that's totally welcome as well.
Old as I've ever been, but never felt younger. So much life to live, and so much getting stronger.
Ashlie J. Sahara, bright, shining star. When I first found out that I was pregnant, I felt joy. And when she was born, she was for the first few years of her life, she was so cuddly, so snuggly, and she never wanted to be put down. I remember I had to hold her all the time. Whether it was putting her in a stroller or a backpack or a bouncy swing or the bed, she would have none of it. She just wanted to be held. She was my little travel partner and my camping partner. We went so many places together. She came with me to live in India for 4 months. We went to places like Peru, and at her Sweet 16, we had a trip to Europe and saw the places that she really wanted to see in France and Barcelona and Amsterdam, and to be on the Eiffel Tower on her 16th birthday. She had such a desire to travel, and in the last several years, her heart was set on leaving Victoria. She would often say to me, "Mom, you gotta get off this island, let's move somewhere." She wanted to live in another country. She had a dream to go traveling for a year after high school, and that's when COVID happened and everything shut down, and so reluctantly she went to do her business degree at UVic. But her wings started to get so cramped, and she lived with me for the first year of university, and then she moved out and started rooming with roommates, and every year she would change roommates. She had so many different jobs. She liked to try new things, but she often wouldn't be content and would move on. She would want to move on and try something new. I remember when she was younger trying to figure out what is she interested in, and I would put her in art classes and music classes and sport things and dance things, but her interest would just be for a little bit, and then that was it. There was no more, except for soccer. She did stay with soccer for quite a few years. When she moved out, that's when I really saw this young girl start to grow into this most amazing woman. Some of my precious memories with her were every week we would meet up and go for a little hike and then stop for a flat white and a muffin. And it was like this connection with her where she would catch me up on everything that was happening in university with her friends, with the boys. And it was so delightful just to watch her growing her own mind and to just discover herself as a young adult. But she was not content here in Victoria, and as soon as she could, she went to Australia in the middle of her her university years. And it was there that she did her open water diving on the Great Barrier Reef, and her love for diving started there. And she had love for water already with some surfing as well. And then when she came back, she was even more ignited and eager to leave again as soon as she finished her business degree. She did go to Morocco for one of her exchange trips, and then as soon as she graduated, all on her own, she found a scuba school that she wanted to go to, and she flew to Koh Tao, Thailand, and did her dive master, and she spent 4 months there completing her dive master. She got a visa to go to Australia for a year, and she was really following this dream that she had held with her since a couple of years when she first did her open water, but also years back when she had her first job at Cafe Bliss. And she, which now is, well, it's no longer, but some of you might know it. And then there's Be Love, which is also the sister restaurant that's still here. But she told me, probably not so long ago, but she was like, I don't want to die before I go to Australia and try to open up a raw food bar or a smoothie bar. So there's these little glimpses of, her passion coming out with the scuba diving, with the raw food bar, and then here she was going for it, all on her own. Shortly after when she arrived in Thailand, and I got a phone call from her, and she said, "Mom, I found my people." And she was so happy in that world of diving, and she would share how she loved being under the water in the sea and being that close with all the life in the water, and also the quiet, a particular type of quiet that would come undersea there. So as I look back over her life, there's a few things that have stuck out with me as far as just seeing the progression of this beautiful woman and witnessing her grow from a shy, timid little girl into such a bold, courageous, kind, loving, adventurous woman. I remember when we used to run together, and she would be slow and I would be ahead of her, and this was for a while, and then for a while we were running at the same pace, and then a while later she was running ahead of me and I was like way behind, and it was so poignant to see and just to witness how our children literally move ahead of us, and then they start carrying us forward. It's in those moments when I started to be so in awe of this woman and the path that she was choosing that I could really see the gift that our children start giving back to us 1,000-fold. And I could really see her as a connection to the future. And now with her not here on this earth anymore, I feel she's even become a more poignant connection. There was this moment in Thailand when we were having the ceremonies. And every ceremony there was an opportunity where you would go up to her altar and you would bow down to her. And it was the most profound thing to bow down to my own daughter. And I felt so deeply, she's my ancestor now. And it was an incredible moment. And so now, even though I will forever miss having her here in this life on earth, I know also she represents not only the future, but this greater reality that she's crossed over to, that we can never know until we take that path ourselves. But she's a bridge to this greater reality. And that's also the connection that I'll be nurturing with her, along with the memories of her, but who she is now. And I can only imagine that she's shining her love and her light in ways beyond we can imagine and know here at Earth, but perhaps get little glimpses of every now and then. So I'll have Galen come up and share now.
Hello. Thank you for everyone for coming out tonight. It's so amazing to see so many people here. And I just want to thank Dawn for putting this all together. She did incredible work with all her friends and Ashley's friends helping. I'll be reading most of this. When Dawn was pregnant, I prayed to God for a little girl. I could see an image of her in my mind, laughing, looking at the world in wonder, being wrapped around her little finger. But we wanted to be surprised. When we got an ultrasound picture, I could make out the head, but it looked like she had lobster claws for hands. And I was like, okay, I'll still love her. Dawn had a very hard delivery. Ashlie just didn't want to leave. She was very comfy and content. When I was told she was a girl, I was so happy and immediately looked for her lobster hands. It took us probably a week to name her. We put so much thought into her name, and we finally came up with Ashlie Jade Sahara. She was colicky for the first year and a bit, and we neither got much sleep at all. But I'm sure I got more than Dawn. One day I remember holding Ashlie. I just got home from work, and Dawn had to rush off to school. I literally fell asleep standing up, and I dropped Ashlie. When she bounced off the floor, she looked up at me with a look like, what the heck? And then came the tears. But I was so glad she couldn't speak yet. Be in so much trouble. Ashlie was shy and cautious growing up. I think she was sussing out the whole life thing. But when she got to high school, she changed. She wanted to try everything. She absolutely loved life. She had amazing friends, and meeting boys, of course, and soccer, running, hiking, surfing, and eventually skydiving and scuba diving. She absolutely loved life, and she so loved all of you. She was a rocket, and nothing was going to stand in her way. She started working when she was 14 and saving. She could be out all night with her friends, meet me in the morning for breakfast, and then go climb Mount Venison with Dawn. She was so powerful and strong and beautiful. She loved animals and nature, all the wonders of this earth. I hope I can live up to her standards one day. We love you all so much for being here tonight and to celebrate Ashlie with us. I know she's at peace and is here with us, and I know she would give each and every one of you the biggest hug. So, thank you. And, Bill,
times, I think, today. Because that just about sums it all up. Ashlie was a huge joy in our lives. From the beginning, Ashlie was special, but I suppose every grandparent says that of their grandchildren. But she was really special. I was blessed to be present at her birth and to be able to hold her right after she was born, and then be able to spend a few days with her in the first part of her life. We had 3 years that Dawn and Ashlie and Galen lived near us in Ottawa. And that was when Ashlie was 4 to 7 years old. And we have so many treasured memories during that time. I'm going to mention a few of them. As a toddler, if Ashlie was meeting you for the first time, she would sit there and look at you as if she was sizing you up. And it's almost like you had to meet her criteria. And then the next day she would play with her. Very rarely did she ever connect quickly with anyone, but she connected almost instantly with her Auntie Carmen and her great auntie Marilyn. At a very young age, she felt that she was like an adult and she should be able to do everything you did. She was a little grown-up person. That's what she was. She was always interested in everything and she wanted to do everything you did. She would help Opa clean up the toaster, bake bread in the bread maker, help grind the coffee and make the coffee, pour the wine in the decanter, play stick hockey in the driveway, shovel the snow, and the list goes on and on. She just wanted to do it all. Even washing the dishes when she was tiny. She'd climb up on a chair, and then she would, on the back of the chair, she would place her toes on the spindles so she could reach up high enough to reach into the sink. But she wanted to wash those dishes. Let's see. She was amazing when she was very small. She could mimic people. And she would pick up on things you wouldn't think that a little girl her age would even notice. And she would play it to the part, to the T. She would play being a young waitress in a restaurant. And she would come up with everything a waitress would say to you. She'd say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we just have run out of filet mignon. Oh, we have a lovely lamb." And then whatever you said or whatever you asked, she had a quick answer, and it would just fit exactly what you would say. She could also mimic a little old lady, put on a pair of glasses with a walking stick and walk around, and she did other mimics as well. She was quite funny. One of the favorite things to do that she liked was to play hide and seek. We played it in the house, we played it in the yard, we played in the neighborhood yards on the way to the ice cream shop a few blocks away. She just, she was so funny. We were walking down the blocks to the ice cream shop, and she would hide herself in somebody's yard she didn't even know, and I'd expect her open to find her. But I would find the spots for her to hide, and then, let me see, I'm losing my place here. And she loved it when her opa couldn't find her. So when he finally got too long, and he'd say, "Ashlie, where are you?" And she'd say, "Here I am," and she'd pop out. Each time Ashlie came out to our place with her parents, she would very soon be in our bedroom, and she would be spraying on my perfume. And then next, she would be in my closet searching for my high heels so she could walk around the house. And then she also loved walking in the flower garden and the herb gardens. And she would wander around the garden, and she would pick a flower here, pick a flower there, and she would make a bouquet, and then she'd bring it in to us. And she especially loved to pick the borage flowers because they were edible. She was just a joy to always have around. As the years flew by, we connected more when she was at university and traveling. She would send us pictures from all her adventures. She just enjoyed life in general. And she had no difficulty finding a friend or a group She had friends from every nationality because of the many countries she visited with Dawn and by herself. So she had friends everywhere, and it didn't matter to her what nationality they were. During her last visit to Ottawa last year, she wanted to do for the first time snowshoeing and cross-country skiing with us. She'd already conquered downhill skiing, but she wanted to try cross-country. She'd never done it before. So she learned and she loved it. She surprised me. She wanted to learn how to crochet a scarf with me. She was just interested in everything. It was wonderful watching Ashlie grow into the lovely lady she became. And our last talk with her was about 2 weeks before she died. She was in Bali, and she called to chat, and we talked for an hour and a half. And little did we know that would be our last conversation we would have with her. But it was something we'll always remember and treasure, along with the many special moments with her. We truly miss her, and we look forward to the day when we will see her again.
Excellent. Yeah, it's just amazing to see how many people Ashlie touched by looking out this standing room only facility. I remember the day Ashlie was born. I was leading a youth trip to the Maritime Provinces to see places like Peggy's Cove in Nova Scotia, Hopewell Rocks in New Brunswick, and the beaches in PEI. I was taking a solo walk on the Cavendish Beach in Prince Edward Island, and Linda had gone to Vancouver to be with Dawn during the delivery and with Galen. And I got a call from Linda on July 29th, 2002, and she said, "You're a grandpa." And I'm not one necessarily to be prone to tears, but unexpectedly tears of joy just streamed down my cheek. And didn't have anyone else to tell except a few of the adults that were with us and the teens. They said, "Hey, I'm a grandpa, I'm a grandpa." They just joined in my joy in just being able to have that feeling. It just changed your life. All of you who are grandparents, it just changes your life when you get that first child or second or third, whatever it is may be. But it was just beautiful. And I think what capped it off is that when Ashlie was born on July 29th, that also happened to be the day of Linda's birth. And so it's something that we shared together and celebrated birthdays together. Fast forward, to January 1 of this year. We got a call from Galen, who was trying to reach Dawn, who had just started a silent retreat in Australia. And it was a tough, horrendous time for Galen. Painful words, tearful words, said Ashley's dead. And that was a shock. It was disbelief. There was a disconnect. It just didn't make sense. You still expected her, even to this day, when she's on a long trip and she's going to come back. But it was a tough time for us, let alone for Galen and for Dawn and what they and then the other members of the family as well. It was a hard time. The past 5.5 months have been difficult in many ways, but I think we remember the times that we spent with Ashlie, and we looked at hundreds of pictures that we had taken, and we laughed and laughed and laughed, and we also cried so much, but we just laughed. We thought of the precious times that we had with her, and Linda mentioned about the time that Galen and Dawn moved from Vancouver to Carleton Place, and that was just an hour away from where we lived, south of Ottawa. And what a difference distance makes. Instead of 4,500 kilometers away, you're 1 hour away. And we just love every moment we would have with her. Every time they would come over, every time we got a chance to go and spend with them. And I heard the saying the other day that it's true joy comes from a person. Like spiritually, that's true, but physically as well. You know, your marriage relationship, your friendships that you have, the joy that you have comes from someone else that is able to bring that joy into your heart, into your very being. And that's what Ashlie did for us. She just brought joy to our lives every time we saw her. Every time. And it was never a dull moment. You know, she would, we had, one of the pictures, I mean, we sent Dawn, she wanted a few, we sent her about 145. But anyway, we got a few in there. Well, there was one picture that didn't make it, but it was Ashlie, and she's just, she has on these big latex yellow gloves, you wash in the sink, and she's looking down my teeth, and being a dentist, and she got a magnifying glass there. What am I saying? Just a tremendous memory. And every year we had the chance as well to take her to the small Russell Village annual county fair where we lived, and there were carnival rides. It gave Don and Galen a day off during that time or a weekend, so they appreciated that. But we also appreciated the time that we had with Ashlie, just taking her out, having the rides, the animals, the face painting, and it was just a beautiful time. We never had enough. I mean, there was a sad time. It was when they decided to move back to, not back, but to Victoria. Don was going to pursue her PhD, and Galen was going to continue his work back there, and of course be with his family. And seeing them leave was because we were there when they left, and we helped them pack, and it was a deep loss. And I understood perhaps what my own parents felt when I left. I left when I was 22, left home and went to college, but it was a sad time, but we were just so thankful for the gift of having been able to see her when she was so young and so vibrant and so excited to try anything. So you can't take those years away. They're just beautiful. When you're 4,500 miles away or 4,500 kilometers away, you don't have the opportunity to spend as much time as you would like or as you'd like to. We enjoyed the moments we went over there to see them on the island, enjoyed the time they came to see us, took trips to Disneyland, to the maritime provinces as well. So they were still good times in between, but I think the last 3 years of her life, I think similar to what Don had said and others will, is that it was just something to stand back and to see this little girl come into such a beautiful woman, one who was independent, but yet who was caring, who was empathetic, who understood. She understands. She was at times very anxious in her life, and so she could understand other people who were anxious and able to counsel them or whatever the case may be. She was just a great listener because of some of the challenges that she had as far as her own angst in growing up. But we stood back and we talked to Don and Gail and said, what a beautiful daughter you have raised. Just an amazing girl. And we so glad that we had a part of her. And those memories will never be taken away. They can't be. They're always going to be there. And from our vantage point, I've been a pastor for over 52 years. We're just thankful for the gift of faith that God has given to us from another man of joy, His Son, Jesus Christ. You know Him. But He gave us the gift to believe and to know that one day we're going to see her again. We'll see her in the fullness of her mind, body, and soul. Our joy in her is going to be redeemed and returned to us, returned to Galen, to Don, and to all of the family and the friends that knew her. She has much more to give. Her earthly life ended for far too soon. But I appreciate one of the songs during the presentation that said, "Can I sing Hallelujah again or anyway?" And talking about the losses of life. And the answer in the song is that yes, you can. because you can have hope, and that's we have hope that we're going to see Ashlie once again. We have that assurance, we have that conviction, and when she wakes from whatever state she is in, the sleep, whatever journey she's on, she's going to come back and continue to celebrate life and continue to enjoy all of the friends that she has made and all of the people that she has come to know. And where we're going to go from there, who knows? But it's going to be a great future. And I just pray that day will come. We are so blessed to have known her. So, thank you.
So my sister is living in Australia right now, in transit to live in Bali, and she wrote a few words for tonight. So this is from Carmen. From the moment I saw Ashlie a few months after she was born, with those big curious eyes, I felt an instant heart connection to her, like we already knew each other. There was something in her that made me feel so deeply connected to and so in love with this little being. I remember sending her clothes for her second birthday, and even at that tiny age, she held them up to her body with delight, already forming her own sense of style, her own sense of self. When she was about 7, I found her playing business owner with all my wellness products, to be like her auntie, she told me. On her next visit, she opened her own pretend cafe and started brainstorming how to attract more customers. That spark of independence and creativity never left her. After a trip to Peru with Dawn took her everywhere. They came to visit me in Miami, and I still remember the hilarity of Ashlie raiding my closet. She turned my blouses into dresses, boots that were half her height into running looks, and completely owned every outfit. We were in stitches laughing. Her confidence and playfulness were magnetic. As a teenager, she flew solo to Maui to visit me, and again later to Australia, just because she really wanted to. She learned how to surf, went skydiving, explored new cities on her own, and later threw herself into becoming a dive master. Ashlie wasn't fearless, but she was courageous. She did things even when she was scared, unsure, or filled with doubts. Her desire to experience life always outweighed her fear. That quiet bravery is something I will always admire about her. She showed us that you can be uncertain and still say yes to life, and she did, again and again. We had many phone and Zoom chats about what to study, where to go for her exchange year, what kind of work to do after university, and most of all, how to design a life she loved. She thought deeply about things. She had this beautiful combination of being a little shy, but incredibly strong-minded. Wherever she went, she made friends. People just loved being around her. She had that magnetism, that kind that made others feel safe, seen, and welcome. She carried light with her, and she shared it effortlessly. Watching her grow into a kind, bold, funny, adventurous, and hugely loving young woman who always made time to call her mom, her aunt, and her grandparents was such a treasure. Ashlie was building the most unique and beautiful life she shaped around her passions, her joy, and her sense of what mattered. She had so much ahead of her. I miss her every day, and I miss the future we won't get to share with her. But we grieve because we love so deeply, and Ashlie was so very easy to love. Miss you so much, darling, precious soul. I'll have Tiam and Chloe come up. And then followed by Hudson, Luanda, and Adam.
together in grade 9. A year later, she transferred to my high school where our friendship grew over the years. I feel as though Ashlie and I originally bonded by empowering each other at times when we needed it. High school was difficult for me in terms of mental health, and Ashlie was the most supportive friend I could have ever asked for. We always had each other's backs and had many deep talks and silly laughs. I think of Ashlie as the person who brought me down to earth. She reminded me what the important things in life were: friends, love, laughter, adventure, wonder, fearlessness, and more. We grew even closer around grade 12 and first year when we branched out to make new friends together and went on awesome weekend trips to Shawnigan Lake. Ashlie and I soon realized that we had big dreams in common, and if one of us had an idea, the other was on board in a heartbeat. Together we tried dance classes, went surfing, backpacking, started learning ukulele, and so much more. When Ashlie traveled to Australia at 19, I came and joined her for her final month there. We went skydiving, which is another example of how anything was possible with Ashlie and how she was interested in new experiences despite being scared or unsure. The highlight of our trip and the time I think of as the most amazing and happiest time of my life was our PADI open water course on a liveaboard in the Great Barrier Reef. We were incredibly inspired by the other divers and instructors on board, and Ashlie expressed great hope that she could lead a life like theirs one day. Even though Ashlie was a natural at pretty much everything I saw her try, she still expressed wanting to be super good at one thing, and I remember her excitedly saying, maybe diving could be my thing. I'm so glad to know that in her final months, her wish came true as she reached the level of Dive Master, which is the entry certification to be able to work in the diving industry at a level less than 2% of divers reach. Since Ashlie has been gone, I've had a hard time knowing who I am and who I'm going to be without her. I have countless memories with her, and I'm heartbroken at not being able to reminisce with her or make new memories. The love you feel for a best friend is something so strong, deep, safe, trusting, and unconditional, and I was incredibly lucky to have had that relationship with Ashlie. I could still hear her voice telling me to focus on what's in front of you. She truly understood me in a way no one else did, and always gave me the advice that I needed to hear. Her words and laughs echo in my ears, and the comforting and reassuring feeling of being loved by Ashlie is something that will be with me forever.
I wanted to mention, sorry, I forgot. So Chloe here, she wrote the song. I'm not sure if you noticed in the slideshow. That was Chloe, who spent the last 5 months creating, singing, playing the piano, and wrote that song. And thank you so much for letting us play it in the slideshow. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is TM. Ashlie and I became good friends in the 6th grade when we first started at Central Middle School together. Early into our friendship, I got to know Ashlie as a bubbly, kind, genuine person, and I felt like she was going to be part of my life forever. We experienced many of life's firsts together, watching her first slow dance with a boy when we were 12, cheering her on when she got the lead in the middle school play, even while she cried for the other girl who didn't get the part. Sitting in the back of Galen's truck with a bicycle helmet on during her first driving lesson. So many more memories that I will hold very close to me. My favorite moments with Ashlie weren't necessarily these milestones. They were rather the simple times we spent together, just the two of us doing the things we loved. When we were younger, we loved to wake up early before school to find a sunny spot during golden hour, to take what felt like a million photos of each other. We also loved trying new recipes and bringing them to the beach, blasting Spanish pop music the whole ride there. When Ashlie got a job in Cook Street Village, I would go and visit her on my breaks at work, and we would talk about everything under the sun in between her serving customers. Ashlie brought so much laughter and and light into my life during a difficult time and an awkward age, but we were there for each other through all of it. And as the years passed, no matter how much life changed around us, our friendship remained strong, and she was always one of my best friends. I watched her grow into the coolest person I know, traveling to Mexico, Australia, Morocco, and Southeast Asia, running marathons, climbing mountains, both literally and figuratively, getting her degree, working full-time at multiple jobs, and still managing to have a social life. I know that couldn't have been easy for her, but Ashlie knew that life wasn't going to wait, and she decided to create a vision of what she wanted and a motivation for getting there. Last year we talked a lot about our dreams and what we wanted our futures to look like post-grad. Ashlie did really well at UVic and finished her business degree, which she knew could allow her more freedom towards a future career path. But what she was really passionate about was traveling and seeing as much of the world as she could. I think that was something that kept us so close as we grew older, was this shared excitement for visiting new places. In high school, we befriended many exchange students from Germany and Mexico and would spend our weekends partying with them and listening to their music, hearing about their friends back home, and planning future trips to visit each other. When she arrived in Kotal, we FaceTimed every week, and I remember her calling me after she saw her first whale shark at one of the best dive spots in the world, and she told me that was one of the coolest, most unforgettable moments of her life. Our final FaceTime was brief, but Ashlie was glowing and so happy to have completed her dive master certifications. She was excited to start a new chapter of her life in Australia, and she told me that one day she would open a smoothie bar, to which I promised I would come and work for her, and we would live together and surf and live out our Aussie dreams. It hurts to dream about the memories I believe we make together, but the truth is that life is brief and uncertain, and there might not be any closure or clarity to our grief, but we have to learn to be okay with that. What I do know for certain is that Ashlie's spirit and all the love she put into this world will continue on through us. I loved how Ashlie moved through the world with authenticity, always learning and always growing. She knew how to be present and invested so much time into her health and creating a full life beyond work and school that kept her soul awake. She wasn't afraid to let her walls down and formed lifelong friendships that were profound and sincere and so full of joy. I couldn't have asked for more in a friend, and I'll miss her more than words can say.
So Hudson, Luanda, and Adam, and then whatever order you'd like, or if you want to come up together.
Hi, I'm Hudson. Ashlie and I met in second year English class. My first impression of her was how warm and bubbly she was. Immediately, it was so simple and natural to talk to her. As the months went on, we got closer, and by third year, we were practically attached by the hip. We did everything together. I even switched my specialization in fourth year just so I could be in the same class as her for her final semester. She had such a radiant spark. She lit up every room she entered, made life so colorful, and gave it so much meaning. I always admired how she showed up for life, pouring so much love into her friendships, passions, travels, school, and everything in between. She lived so beautifully in the moment, making even the simplest experiences feel so meaningful. I miss her cute travel vlogs, our FaceTime catch-ups, seeing the places she was exploring and the people she was meeting. I miss living with her in the past 2 summers, spending our days together, going to school, trying new recipes, tanning, talking for hours. I miss our Timmy's runs, our 2-person pre-games, and our walks to the beach. I love how much we understood each other, how much we laughed together, and how life never felt too serious with her. I always have and always will admire Ashlie, her ambition, her kindness, her energy, her humbleness, and her love for people in life. In September, right before she left on her trip, I texted her saying, "Life isn't the same without you. I know I'm being dramatic, but for real." She replied, "Seriously, it feels like a breakup." And I said, "I guess we're just so lucky it's so sad to say goodbye." She told me, "I'll always live with you when I'm back.
I don't want to be replaced. And I said, you could never be replaced. I feel so lucky to have had you in my life. Thank you for being the best friend I could have ever asked for. Thank you for sharing some of your precious time here with me. Love you forever.
Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Adam. I'm one of Ashley's longtime friends. I met Ashlie about 10 years ago at a UVic soccer camp. As you guys know, she really enjoyed soccer. Out of like 100 boys, there's just 2 girls. She was one of them. Me and my friend Jose approached her, and that was the start of our beautiful relationship. I used to live in Mexico, but I moved to Victoria for school, same as her. By pure coincidence, we applied to the same program, and once I started my new chapter, she was one of the only friends I had here. It was so easy to talk to Ashlie. She was always there for me. Such a caring and loving soul. When I was close to her is when I was the happiest. Our fishing trips, movie nights, and our trip to Mexico will forever be engraved in my memory. Ashlie became family to us. We all love her so much. We're forever grateful to have met her. I want to thank Galen and Dawn for raising the most beautiful person I've ever met. You'll forever be part of me, and I will always be there for you, same as Ashlie was there for me. I also want to read a poem which my friend Jose wrote for Ashlie. He's actually currently running a half marathon for her in her honor. So yeah, let me just take that out. My dear Guarita Ash, you had a wonderful way to see the world. You were always happy and positive. I'm sure you were an angel sent to earth to make our lives happier. I think this is why God had to call you back by his side. Angels belong in heaven. You will forever be missed and loved by everyone who ever met you, especially by Adam and me. I don't understand why God does what he does, but I know you will be waiting for me and Adam in heaven with a hug and a lot of stories to tell. All those adventures you were part of, and those adventures you never got to experience. Thank you for your life. Whenever ours got darker, you were always there to brighten them. Being by your side was one of my favorite things to do, and now I get to carry you with me wherever I go. Your spirit will live on forever anytime we venture onto the unknown. Anytime I laugh with friends, anytime I play Mario Kart or eat tomato soup with grilled cheese, the sea will always be yours, and I shall go there deep in your heart, that being your friend was a privilege and an honor. My kids will hear about Aunt Ashlie, and the wonderful way you had of seeing the world. Please take care of us. You will forever be loved by me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It looks like it's going to be a long time before we see each other again. Looking forward to it. Love you, my Ash, my Guarita, my angel.
Time is the most precious thing we have. We won't all be given the same amount of it, but I think what matters most is not how much you're given, but what you choose to do with the time you get. It's difficult for me to think of very many people who have made better use of their time than Ashlie has. Although it is unfair how little time she was given, I find comfort in knowing she has accomplished more than many people ever will. Ashlie was ahead of us in many ways. She had 3 jobs while the rest of us had 1. She would be finished running her morning 10 kilometers by the time I She was traveling across Australia by herself before most of us had even thought it was possible to just pack a bag and leave to go explore the other side of the world for multiple months. All the while, she managed to create and maintain deep and intimate connections with the people around her. It was difficult to remain Ashley's acquaintance or distant friend, because once you get to know Ashlie, it's nearly impossible not to fall in love with her. She radiated this incredible energy, where as soon as she walked into the room, it was hard not to immediately feel calmer and lighter. I've never met someone so successful yet so humble. You could tell her absolutely anything and never feel the slightest judgment or sense that she might be perceiving you differently. She truly and deeply cared about the people in her life and always made space for them, no matter what else she may have had going on. There are various things I admire about Ashlie, however. What I found most special and will miss the most is her distaste for the mundane. Being complacent and waiting around for opportunities to find her was never going to be how she went about things. She was never going to live a mediocre life, lacking the confidence to strive for what she truly wanted. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, and taking risks, leaving what is comfortable and familiar, none of these things ever held her back. I have tremendous respect for the way Ashlie chose to live her life, and she was always someone I would consult when faced with decisions for my own life. She was a role model to me, and I will deeply miss her perspectives and opinions. Ashlie, I'm eternally grateful for the time I got to spend with you, all the advice you have given me, and all the ways in which you have inspired me. You have had such an impact on my life, and I know you have been one of the most special connections I have ever made. Thank you for choosing to be my friend.
I have one more letter to read before moving on to more of Ashley's friends. So this letter is written by Kian, who Ashley spent her last days with, and Kian was on the motorcycle with Ashley when she died. Although I had Ashley in my life for a short amount of time compared to all of you, anyone who knew Ashley can understand how quickly and deeply I fell in love with her and that she meant the world to me for the few months we were together. I'm unsure how to write this message that will be heard by such an important group of people that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet. So instead, it would be easier to express myself in a message written for Ashley. Ashley, I think of you every day and struggle not to feel robbed of the most incredible thing to have ever happened to me. Had things been different, I know we would be living the dream we shared of traveling the world, diving and making memories together. It has helped in moments of feeling angry and defeated to remember how you would always comfort me and remind me that I'm lucky. I remember you used to say things like, "Don't worry, it will be okay, you're lucky, remember?" And you are so right. I'm the luckiest person in the world. I'm lucky to have met the most incredible, beautiful girl, so open, genuine, caring, and so much fun to be around. Someone who made me feel overwhelmingly excited every day. I'm so lucky that you, for some reason, chose to be with me, that we shared the same passions for traveling and diving and the same dreams that we wanted to pursue together. I'm so lucky to have spent Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's with you. I'm so lucky my ear got infected so I couldn't dive and work and instead spent all my time with you, exploring the island, drinking coconuts, trying different foods, watching sunsets, and planning to do it all again somewhere new. I'm so lucky that because you were leaving and we were going to be apart for some time, we made the last days special and I got to say goodbye. It breaks my heart to accept that I won't get to have you in my life, but it's a selfish thought because I still have my life. I'm so sorry, Ashlie. You were the last person who deserved this. You made the most of every day and had the courage to live your life exactly how you wanted to. You were so kind to every single person and truly made everyone's day brighter. It's so unfair that your time in this world and with us was cut short. But I believe that a person's life is measured by how they lived it in the present and how they affected those around them. With that belief, it comforts me to know that you live the most remarkable life and inspires me to try to do the same. Thank you for everything. You will always be in my heart. Love, Kian. So we're going to open up the floor for anyone to come up and speak. We are going to start with Kaya, Maddie, Kate, and Carla, who can make their way up. And then invite anyone else who would like to share favorite memories or moments with Ashlie, anything that's on your heart. Just having a look at the time, we'll probably go a little bit past 9, just so we can hear some from many of you actually. Try to keep it fairly short, though if some of you have a lot to say, that's okay. But yeah, this is really the heart of the ceremony, is the opportunity to really hear, as we have been, who Ashlie is through all your eyes. So even if you have just a couple of words to say, we would so love to hear from you and maybe share your connection with her, where you know her from.
Hi everyone. I knew Ashlie for a few years. I met her in second year and lived with her for one awesome summer. I believe that Ashlie packed more ambition, passion, connection, love, and joy into her 22 years than many people find in a lifetime. I was so inspired by the way she filled her days, connecting with so many people and making the most of every moment. I feel so lucky to have shared some of those moments with her, especially while living with Ashlie and Hudson the summer before both their semesters abroad. There's so much that I miss. Rollerblading, nights out, flying kites, surfing, camping, wine, and beach days. Even the simplest little moments like sitting on the couch and brushing our teeth all together mean so much to me now. Those little moments were full of laughter, love, and that rare kind of innocence and joy that you can only fully appreciate once it's past. That summer, Ashlie signed up for the triathlon with me, and the months leading up to our race, she quietly and enthusiastically trained, always remaining so humble despite her superhuman speed. Runs with Ashlie around Dallas Road, the Chip Trail, Thetis, and Elk Lake were always so much fun, even though I often struggled to keep up. Her motivation and energy were contagious, and each of those spots will always remind me of her. Something that really stood out to me is the relationship that Ashlie and her family, particularly her and Dawn, shared. She truly prioritized spending quality time with family, with her mom. And no matter how busy life got, both of them consistently set aside space in their busy schedules for adventures and special meals together, which I really admired. Dawn, Ashlie truly spoke so highly of you, and she loved you so much. I miss Ashlie every day. She was radiant, she was driven, and she was loyal. She inspired me and so many of us to live more boldly, more kindly, and more joyfully. I hope to carry some of her energy and her approach to life with me for the rest of my own life. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Kaya. For those who don't know, Ashlie wasn't supposed to go on exchange to Morocco. She had originally planned on going to Indonesia, but last minute she switched to Morocco. And it makes me believe in fate. That switch brought her into my life. I remember the first time I met Ashlie. It was at night in Morocco. She had just gotten off the plane from Portugal. We had never met before, and I didn't know what to expect. But immediately, she had the warmest energy. To know Ashlie was to know she was truly a ray of sunshine. She had a kindness that is so rare. She made everyone feel welcome and like her friend. I got so lucky that Ash decided to come to Morocco, and we proceeded to spend the next 4 months sleeping side by side as we shared the same room. I really felt like I had met my match with Ash. We shared so many laughs and so many talks about the future. I kept a journal from my time in Morocco, and now I'm so grateful I wrote down so many memories of our time together. One paragraph I wrote that was shortly after we had just moved in. I said, having Ryan and Ash as roommates and friends is amazing. They're both perfect, and the three of us balance each other so well. I love our trio so much, and honestly have enjoyed every moment of our 24/7 together. LOL, we truly do everything together, and it's a lot, but I would not have it any other way. I just feel so happy. I think I'm still in denial, and I don't think I'll ever fully heal from this. There will always be a hole in my heart meant for Ash. I was back in Africa in April, and for some reason I thought of her every day, and most days there isn't a day that goes by without something reminding me of her. I hope as we go on, we can all continue to see and be reminded of Ash every day. I hope you can see her in the ocean and in the wildflowers, in the trees and in the sun. I hope we all try to live like Ash and to find a lesson in who she was, an adventurer, an explorer, and a doer with the kindest heart. I hope we can live like her every day and try to embody her qualities, and we can keep her soul alive through our memories of her. I wish so desperately that I could go back and rewatch our time together like a movie. I wish I remembered every moment with her. Losing Ash has been the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, but I'm glad it's been this hard. This loss has torn through me, and it's a testament to the amazing and rare human she is. Ashlie, I miss you. I love you more than words can describe. Your story was not meant to end this way, and I will never forget you or the impact you've had on my life.
Kaya, you can stay here for a minute. And Luanda, where did Luanda go? Oh yeah, can you come here? Yeah. Yeah, I totally forgot something. So, Luanda and Kaya here, and there's probably some more people involved as well. But on the altar, there is a beautiful plaque. So Luanda had the idea to have a plaque engraved that is going to be installed in the ocean, and it will be a place that people can visit. So please go visit this plaque. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's hopefully maybe in the next month or so. It might be, it will be put in the ocean, and there'll be another opportunity for people to gather casually there, and that will be put out on the email and the Instagram group for everyone to know. And Kaya is also creating or helping to create a benefit concert that helps pay for the cost for it. Some funds have already been raised, but there's some cost to install it and all of that, and that's going to be July 29th, August 29th, yes, but we'll pass that on to you. But I just wanted to put faces to this because it's really incredible what they're doing, and yeah, I hope you
She was one of those rare souls you connect with instantly. Even if we didn't spend as much time together as we wished, she quickly became someone I could have gone to. Someone who saw people for who they truly were and made them feel seen in return. Sorry. Ashlie brought joy wherever she went. Her energy could just light up even the hardest shifts, not just for herself, but for everyone in her team and around her. I know I wasn't the only one who looked forward to working with her, but I also remember I used to schedule her, me, and Mac and Marcos at the same time for her trip because I just wanted to be able to spend the most time we could together. She gave everything her best, no matter what kind of day she was having. You would always see her take a deep breath, square her shoulders, and just get it done. Everything while smiling. That's who she was, a strong, loving, radiant Ashlie. A quiet force of God in the world. Ashlie changed lives. She had a way of helping people see the truth, gently or not so gently. She gave people the courage to move forward. She saw what others couldn't yet see for themselves. And I know I'm not the only one she would guide or pushed towards something better. That was the gift that she had. For me, she helped me find the courage to leave a very toxic relationship. And when I told her I was finally done, she had the widest smile ever. Shortly after that, she looked at me in the eye, she pushed me, and she told me to start dating the dishwasher. And well, I did. And now I'm in the happiest, healthiest relationship because of her not so gentle push. She loved Monarch butterflies. She found beauty in her delicate wings, and she understood the magic about them. In my culture, we believe monarchs carry the spirits of our loved ones, and I know when taking to be great this year, she'll be with them, flying close, watching over us, and still smiling. Ashlie was the kind of friend who arrives just when you need her the most. A spark in the darkness, a reminder that light still exists, that joy is still possible, and she gave so much of herself to everyone around her, and we're honored having known her. So no, Ashlie, this isn't goodbye. This is simply resumption. We'll find you in the laughter, in the breeze, in every butterfly that dances around us. I love you.
So I meant to say, keep coming up, so we can have like a little line here of a few people at a time. So feel free to have a couple people ready to go. So please come up.
Hello everyone. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Madeline, Adam's sister, and one of Ashlie's close friends. It's almost impossible to start a paragraph like this one, as we all know. Ashlie was our smiles and laughter, the joy and light in all of our lives. She made my brother into the man he is today, and was there by his side whenever he needed her. She wasn't only my friend, she was my sister, she was my family. I remember the first time I met her, I was curious about who my brother was bringing to Mexico. And as soon as he opened the door to her in our home, I adored her to bits. As we all grew older and I moved to Canada, we got closer. Ashlie would come to our house 2 or 3 times a week. We would We would force her to go to the gym with us. We all knew that she loved hot yoga, running, and being outdoors better. She didn't like being in the gym. We would watch movies till midnight and eat store-bought sushi. We would laugh and play fight till we were completely out of breath. I could name a million trillion more memories I have by her side. It would take me days to write all about them. I will always have a special place for them in my heart, and I will always have a special place for her in my heart. As I grow old, I will continue her adventurous legacy, and she will live through me and so many others gathered with us today. Thank you, Dawn and Galen, for raising such an amazing daughter. She changed so many lives for the better, and now she will forever be our angel.
So anyone else? And any others, please come on up.
Hi everyone. My name is Asa. I had the pleasure of living with Ashlie for 4 months, and we were both subletting the same place. So I just had a brief little anecdote that I think shows the joy that she brought to everyone. So at that time, I was going on a lot of runs, and every time I would get back, she would say, "How did it go?" She'd ask how the pace was, how far I went. And it became kind of like her catchphrase, "That is so awesome." Because she would say that all the time to everyone about anything they did. And, this went on for months. And one day, I looked on my phone and I followed her on Strava, and she had been getting up at 8 in the morning every day and running much farther than I had. And she never once mentioned it. She was just solely supportive and interested and had a lot of admiration for everyone around her. And I just think that's very special.
Anyone else?
Hi there. My daughter, Liv, sent a message. She was dear friends with Ashlie in elementary school, which is how I met Dawn. So Liv, who couldn't be here tonight, said, "I met Ashlie on the first day of 2nd grade at Campus View Elementary. We were both the new girls of the grade, and I remember immediately feeling better about starting a new school in a new city when we started talking and relating to each other, plus seeing our moms chat and get along was an additional comfort. Over the next couple of years, Ashlie and I would become best friends. We were both in the after-school care program and used to rush from our class to get to the gym and try to claim the biggest beanbag for both of us to relax in. We had a crush on the same guy in our grade, whatever that means for 10-year-olds. And we used to make up stories of heroic rescues in which one of us would end up riding off into the sunset. Ashlie's sense of imagination and joy made our time together so much fun. I remember midway through 2nd grade, I started wearing glasses. I was really self-conscious about it, and I hated wearing them for the first while. A few weeks later, Ashlie and I were planning for her birthday, and I asked what presents she'd asked for, and she proudly told me she had asked her parents for a pair of fake glasses because she loved mine so much. When I think of Ashlie, I think of the feeling she gave me in that moment. She was so kind, curious, funny, and genuine. When Ashlie switched schools later in elementary school, we gradually grew apart. We continued to go to each other's birthdays and hang out in middle school. And I even think, as we lost touch in high school, I would think of her with so much care and knew she felt the same way. And I just also want to say my younger daughter, Ella, really looked up to Ashlie and had a connection with her. And when I asked her if she had anything she wanted to pass along, she was quite young, so she said it wasn't memories per se, but the feeling that Ashlie gave her. And she thought she was the most beautiful girl, and she hoped she could grow up to be, or get when she got older, that she would be as beautiful as Ashlie. So.
Any others? And if there's others, please come up and stand in line.
Hi. There's a lot to say about Ashlie, but I just wanted to speak to her kindness, and she did something that was really amazing to me and touched me deeply, and I'll never forget it. I had a really tough time moving out of Victoria with just some roommates that we weren't getting along, and they were worried about certain things that were in the house that were still mine, and I wasn't living in Victoria anymore. So out of all the people I called, Ashlie picks up and she goes, "Oh yeah, I'll go and get those things for you." Sure enough, shows up. She's like, "They're really mad at you." So mad at me. And she's like, I got it all. It's all outside. Come and pick it up in a week." And I was like, okay, great. So it just speaks to her kindness and her level of care for the people around her. And I greatly appreciate that. And I will always remember that moment for as long as I live. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ainsley. I lived with Ashlie, Kate, Francesca, and many friends that came through up in Cadbro Bay for 8 months. And I always dreamed about living in a house of girls. They're so much better than living with boys, I'll tell you that much. And Ashlie, she was the best roommate you could ask for. She would flip your laundry when you were too lazy, or she'd let you use her really good smelling shampoo. I was supposed to buy her some more. And she showed this everlasting love for anybody that came through the door. It didn't matter if she knew who your friends were, but she would show them this gentle kindness. And I'm so thankful that I got to experience living with her for 8 months, because man, living in a house full of girls, it makes you tough. And it was the best 8 months I've had. And my partner Kyle as well is very close with her, and I just got to see their bond, and I think about her every day. Thank you.
We might be hungry. Is there anyone else? Okay, so we will move on then to our closing ritual. And in a moment, I'll share a verse of a song that's on your programs, The River is Flowing. And I'll share it once, and then if everyone can start singing together. And then I'll start moving towards the altar and picking up a flower, and if everyone could follow and pick up a flower as we continue to sing the song all together. And we'll actually go outside if you can. We'll go outside, we'll try to stay together in a group, and we'll walk a path about 5 minutes down to a little beach down here. And as we're all singing, walking down the path, and once we get to the beach, we'll release the flower into the ocean as we continue to all sing. And then when all the flowers all are released, we'll end the song. And that will be the closing of the ceremony, and you can make your way back on your own time to enjoy refreshments. So as we go down and as we release the flower into the ocean, I invite you to let yourself connect with Ashlie in any way that you would like, whether sending her a prayer or a blessing or a message or anything that's in your heart, as you reach your thoughts towards her wherever she may be. And just a couple last minute things before this song. So when we come back for refreshments, a couple of notes. One of the things Ashlie loved was macarons. So we have this like macaron pyramid down there, and there is enough for everyone. So please have a macaron in memory of Ashlie. And there's also some bliss kisses in honor of her dream to have the smoothie bar and her first job at Bliss Cafe. And then there's so much food that everyone has brought. I am here. There's someone that's going to be shucking 100 oysters after. So if you like oysters, they will be here. And there's just so many other yummy things. And I know there's some gluten-free things there too. So please just stay around as long as you want. Technically, we do have the place till 11, so I think we need to be out then, but just enjoy as much as you can visiting everyone. And there is a memory table over there, and the idea is we'll put some chairs around there, and there's some cards. If you feel like, you can go there and write some of your memories on about Ashlie and put them in a basket. And one other thing too, so Ashlie's last days, she wore this scent that was just permeated all her clothes. And when I picked up her clothes in Thailand, she had this tiny little travel perfume that was called Goddess by Burberry, but it was the scent that just permeated her. And as we know, there's such a scent is so connected with our memory. And so I just, like that tiny bit that was left, I just eked that out in my travels before I came home, and I had a few of her clothes too, and it just permeated and made me think of her. And I thought, oh, it'd be so nice to get some samples and share with her friends. And I searched around and, made a few calls and got a lot of no's. But just last week, Sephora emailed me and said they had 120 samples for me. So I know it's not quite all the numbers here, but we do have 120 samples. I'm gonna, maybe I'll leave it here or have it at the memory table. And I would love, like all her friends and anyone who would love to take one of these home, please come and don't forget to take one before you leave. Okay, so Sally and Christopher, if Christopher is joining, we might have one or two drums with us. I'll sing at once and then just follow along. And try to stay all together as a group so we can stay in sync with our singing. All right. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me.
Flowing back to the sea. is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea.